It's time for the Giz Wiz with Mad's maddest writer, Dick DeBartolo. This is episode 1756, recorded Thursday, December 5th, 2019. Twerking all the way. On this episode of the Giz Wiz, we have some magnetic charging cables. I take over for a normal gadget, not just a crappy corner, but get excited about the crappy corner because we have a new theme for December. All next on the Giz Wiz!
It's the same old show with Dickie D and OMG chat on your PC. It's time for the Giz Wiz because gadgets are his business. They've got a gizmo sickness, geek disease, under pathology, rows and rows of USBs, glowing LEDs. Get ready for the Giz Wiz now.
Now! And here he is, your technical engineer for gadgets, Dick DeBartolo. How you doing, Dickie D?
I'm doing fine, sir. And you?
Doing good myself. Today we are gearing up for a few episodes. We got a doubleheader live.
A doubleheader, yep. What's better than one show? No, not no shows, but two shows. And you're going on a trip, right?
I am. I will be headed to Disney.
Oh, again?
World.
Oh, great.
I know. My favorite place on earth. But they just today opened a brand new ride, Rise of the Resistance. This sounds exactly like an ad, but it is not an ad. But they opened up Star Wars Land a few months ago.
Yes, yeah.
Their big marquee ride was not part of that grand opening. So they've just opened up a brand new ride called Rise of the Resistance, and it looks really cool. And in fact, people have already been seeing, people have been posting videos of it, and they really, really, really like it. So I'm excited about it.
Excellent. So is this a vacation or is this a working?
This is a vacation. Might be the second vacation this year. I think I had one earlier this year.
Wow.
So, yes. And this is the best time to go to Disney World because nobody's there. At the early December, nobody's at Disney. Late December, everybody is at Disney. Everyone loves to go to Disney for Christmas. So if you can get in the first half of the month, so that's when I'm going, is the first half of December. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Oh, it sounds great.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, what did you get up to this last week?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna have you show a little video. So Dennis and I, it's one of those weird things. Is I wanted to visit the Lighthouse Museum, which is in Staten Island, and then I thought, well, you have to take a train to the end of the island, take the ferry. Well, what else is there in Staten Island? And then I remembered that there was this old movie palace. So I looked them up, and I figured, I'll just sign up for their letters. And they sent back an email saying, it's going to be the 90th anniversary of the building of this theater. And if you'd like to come, we're going to have backstage tours. And so
was this like someone never signs up for their email list, or was this like part of it? Was it like a guy that was like, somebody signed up? Just send this email to him.
I think it was one of those things where I just signed up at the right time. And so I called them up and was talking to this guy who I didn't know was the manager of audience something. And he said, no, he said, we don't even have a guest list. Just come. And there's champagne. And I said, well, how much is it a ticket? And he said, no, it's free. And I said, well, do you like Mad Magazine?
Like Giz Wiz-esque. Like, just show up. Like,
So I said, free. I said, well, you like Mad Magazine? He said, oh, of course. I said, well, I'll send you a bunch of free stuff. So I did. And we went yesterday, and it was amazing. So I found a little video online from a local PBS station that actually the theater has on their website, but just run like a minute of it.
Interior.
So this is it. Look at this.
Lavish tiled fountains and intricately carved woodwork. murals depicting lively scenes from Spain, and one of the largest cantilevered balconies in the country. An engineering marvel which ensured that no beams or pillars blocked views of the stage.
Just being in it and admiring it, I mean, the beauty.
Was that who emailed you? That guy right there?
No. This is the former borough president. Just let it run like 15 seconds more, because they do another couple of shots.
Today.
Just the lobby.
Oh my gosh.
An architectural masterpiece. The theater would endure a handful of makeovers over
and
the
the
years.
look at this chandelier.
Oh my gosh. That is the actual chandelier in Phantom of the Opera.
Yes,
right
from
there.
90. Oh, yes, that's what Dennis said. It's like, yeah, we can go out there. So it's 90 years old. And another wonderful thing that happened is we got there early and it was freezing out, and this is like 2 blocks from the ocean, so it was cold. And I said to Dennis, maybe they'll let us stand in the lobby. And as we walk in, the guy who sent me the email originally, and I sent the mad stuff to, I said, can we come in and get warm? And he said, you know what? The tours don't start for another 20 minutes, but you guys roam any way you want. You can go up to the projection booth. It was, and then we came down, they were serving champagne, and then they had free cake and cookies. I mean, we were there for about 2.5 hours. It was really amazing.
That is incredible. Golly, that is just so cool. I love it when something that meticulously made is maintained. Like, oh, it's so rare. It's so rare.
For a woman who has a dancing school saved it. It was to be torn down. Golly. It got in such disrepair. And this woman used to rent it for her dance recitals. And she and her daughters, I think her daughters, decided they would save it. And I think it took them 4 years to get enough money to buy the place. Yeah. Actually, I believe Staten Island just gave them the property. They said, if you could fix this up.
Even if it was free, that is not a small undertaking, because that much, detail and handiwork is like the most difficult thing to maintain. So hard.
I know. And Vincent, the guy who was doing the tours and was the one who originally emailed and I sent the mad stuff to, said they tried to give it away. There's a local college 2 blocks away that teaches dramatic arts, and the college said, we can't. We can't.
Can't afford
even if it's free. Who could afford to restore that?
Yeah.
So finally, these women, and it's all in that documentary is at stgeorgetheater.org, and you can see it all, and about the women who saved it. Amazing.
I wonder if there was, because also I know that if something is designated a historical marker, sometimes you have to maintain it to a certain standard. So I wonder if that was also in the way of causing.
I don't think it was at the time. Maybe now, because it became a flea market. Yeah. It became a roller disco. It became a regular disco.
I just want to make it my apartment. How can I? The master bedroom is the stage. That'd be
the next place for the Disney meetup.
There you go.
I mean, it sits 2,000 people, so there'll be enough room this time.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody will get 100 seats. It'll be great.
Yeah, exactly. We could have the meeting in one of the dressing rooms, the bigger dressing room. Anyway, it was really spectacular.
That is awesome. That is so cool.
It's great. It was great.
That is awesome. I guess with that, let's jump in.
We'll jump in. So you got me very excited about a gadget a few weeks ago, the LED ball for your phone. Okay.
Oh, yes. The disco ball.
Disco ball for the phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have it around here.
So I started looking, and I found one that's a deal that's even better. So ignore everybody knows what it is.
Ignore that old video.
Ignore the beginning. I made this for Leo's show.
Oh, gotcha.
But you'll see what I found. I think you'll be impressed. So let's watch the video. Okay, what the heck is it?
Oh yeah, what the heck is that?
Right. Well,
I don't know.
it's USB.
Now that one is different. It is
strange
USB.
top. Well, here in my spots every week, we play a little bit of disco. And this is the mini disco light. Okay. You can take a USB power pack, plug it in, and then it will respond to your voice. And it comes with all these adapters. This is pretty neat. I'll show you. You can plug it directly into an external power pack with the USB. Comes with a lightning connector. It comes with USB-C, and it also comes with a micro USB, and they all just attach to the bottom so you can use it wherever you want. And they are ridiculously cheap. 3 of them for $12.88. And it looks even better in the dark. And if you don't believe me, just watch.
It's a brand new day and a brand new week. Maybe Giz Wiz winning streak. 5 more gadgets, 5 more shows. We're gonna keep Nicky on his toes. Y'all can dance, but please don't sing. Giz Wiz theme is a sad, sad thing. It's bad for you and it's bad for me.
I keep looking for mine. I can't find it. It's so bright. It's fun.
Yeah. But you know what, Chet?
Y'all come back now.
And I'll be here. So
we need a microphone with one of those on the end of it. That's
yes,
just
that'd be
perfect.
great. But I think you paid $12 for yours.
Yeah, mine was.
What was
I
only-
remember regretting it because we found it on like Alibaba and Amazon for way cheaper.
Yeah. But this one you get 3 for $13, plus each box comes with a set of the adapters.
Those adapters themselves are kind of nice. I wonder if they'll
Yes.
transfer data, or at least charge your phone. Maybe I don't know, that'd be nice.
Probably, I don't know. But I thought this is really inexpensive.
Yeah, that is
So
fancy.
yeah. Anyway, so it was a notch up.
And this is definitely what everything will look like. Actually, that's actually not too far off. I was thinking that this is
no,
like
as you
way,
saw
yeah,
in
it's
the
actually-
bathroom, it's
Yeah.
really not bad.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not there's no moving parts in there, but the
Right.
3 LEDs bouncing around to your voice makes it look like a disco ball.
yeah. I mean, really, it's just to impress your friend. Oh, look what I got. Boop.
Yeah, no, absolutely,
Disco party.
absolutely,
That's what
absolutely.
it's meant for. Just keep it in your backpack until that special moment when you want a disco ball.
When things are getting dull.
Exactly. I love it. LED phone
Excellent.
lights. Cute.
Excellent. Okay, so now, ladies and gentlemen, something new we do when we have to
still
do
feel like
2
I need
shows
to-
in a row sometimes. It's Chad's Extra Gadget of the Week.
I feel like it's like
Ooh.
not quite a crappy corner. It's, I get
No.
to do an actually good gadget for once. So here, I recorded a video about it. So let's
Oh, okay, great.
just take a look at that video. Hey Diggity, so here we are with a good gadget. Not a crappy corner, can you believe it? So this is the Eye Health blood pressure monitor. So this is all inside of itself, its own blood pressure monitor to track your blood pressure, as you would probably imagine. So recently, I've been wanting to keep track of my blood pressure. Historically, I've had high blood pressure. My family has high blood pressure. And so I felt like it was time to kind of make sure that I actually focused on how good my blood pressure is doing over time. So I wanted an at-home solution. I actually first ended up buying the Eye Health Track, but I ran into a small issue, and that is that my cats love to chew on things. And so they actually chewed through the hose.
Oh,
that is supposed to go into the bottom of this, and a new arm cuff ended up costing the same amount as getting a whole new device. So I decided to go for this version of it. So this is a much more portable version. It doesn't have any hoses for my cats to chew through, and this takes your blood pressure off of your wrist instead of off of your arm. So a downside to this specific blood pressure monitor is that you do require a phone. This has no screen on it at all. It only has two icons, a green box that'll show up in the top for when you're charging this, and the blue Bluetooth icon as well. So in order to take your blood pressure, you put it around your wrist, and then they give you this case, this traveling case. You hit start, and it actually has a sensor to tell where your arm is placed. So as I lower my arm and raise it, it can tell how it's oriented. And this little box is supposed to help you perfectly position your hand for your blood pressure. So you get it resting where it needs to be. Looks like I need to rest it a little bit higher. Then you hit the continue button on the app, and it will go through its cycle to test your blood pressure. This is a lot quieter than other blood pressure machines that I've used. It's a lot easier to take your blood pressure on your wrist, although I'm not 100% positive that it's as accurate as the arm version of your blood pressure. So this will add pressure and then take the measurement as it's expanding along your arm, and then it'll just stop. So I've had some other blood pressure machines sort of, do the pressure a lot and then slowly decrease. This seems to, as it increases the pressure, take the measurement it needs, and then once it's finished, it just completely deflates. So you can see there is my results, a little bit high, which is one of the reasons I'm keeping track of it. And so you can add notes down here if you want. You get a wave of everything. You can tell your mood, what you've been doing that day. And then you can also, down here, you have a list of all of your readings, and you can even track that over time. I really like this graph. This is one of my favorite graphs, is that it'll show sort of where you've been over time, which obviously you could show this to your doctor and whatnot to get a good time estimate of how your blood pressure's been doing. So some downsides are that you don't get readings directly on the face of the device. There is a way that you can take a reading if your phone is not connected, but you have no idea what it says until you sync back to the phone. And another big downside is that its charging cable is USB mini, a mini USB, which is really old school at this point, and I basically consider that a proprietary cable because you probably don't have one of these USB lying around. And so other than that, so far I've been pretty happy with it. I am concerned about accuracy, but we'll see how that works moving forward.
Okay, and then I quoted a price that it was. For some reason, I remember buying it for $40, but it was only $27, so $27. And yeah, the chat room is saying, yes, I was in the middle of talking. You're supposed to be quiet and while you're taking your blood pressure. So that was probably a little bit high because I was in the middle.
You know what? I have.
Ooh.
My first one is the same as yours.
Yeah, the iHealth one. This is this one, the Omron. This one was one I looked at because it seemed a lot nicer. And mostly what I want is it to pair with Apple Health. I really want it to pair with Apple Health. Okay,
this does not pair with anything.
But I think actually it may, because Omron has an app, and they mentioned blood pressure monitors that would pair with the app, that when I looked at the page, it didn't mention that it would pair with any app at all. So it's almost like this behind the scenes thing that it seems like they developed later and they never updated the product, but the app would actually speak with the blood pressure monitor. And I may upgrade to that one because that one seems a lot more accurate. This one doesn't.
And this one has a blue light that when you move your arm, it's a red light or a yellow light, but when your arm is in the right position, the blue light comes on, so that you know that that's the way to take your blood pressure.
And there's some people in chat were saying that the wrist is not as accurate, and I don't know. I don't know because I have read a few reviews. There's been people who say that, see, it looks like, well, anyway, that I read some reviews that said that medical professionals still use the wrist and they consider it accurate. To be honest, I don't know if this specific device is accurate on the wrist. So I don't know. And Beatmaster says, ask your doctor. That's probably a good. Mayo Clinic says they're not as good, says Dan. So anyway, take all of that and put it in your brain and make your own decision. So there you go. That's
okay. So we have the same heart rate. Well,
apparently
what was the
that's what
number?
Becky was saying. Is do you remember what your blood pressure was just then?
Let's see. My top number is 139.
Yeah. And what was mine?
That was yours, right?
Yeah, it was. It was 139.
My second number was 69.
Let me go back to my list here.
I think
mine was 139, and then diastolic was 89.
Oh, mine is 69.
Yeah.
And my pulse is 59.
That's a slow pulse. That's good. You're really calm. You're very calm. Yeah. And so what I've been trying to do is also find a specific time to take my blood pressure every day. So either right after I wake up or maybe right before I go to bed, just so that I kind of have a consistency. And so that's what I've been trying to do. And then another big plus for me is that this is very easy to travel with. So if I want to keep taking my blood pressure whenever I'm traveling, and I happen to travel a lot, then I can use this, which is nice. So $27.
You should take it on the ride with you at Disneyland.
See how excited I am. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I have noticed that right after my workouts, my blood pressure is crazy high, and it's probably not, accurate, very accurate. So there you go. The iHealth blood pressure monitor for taking your blood pressure on your wrist, $27 on Amazon.
Okay. Very good. And now back to
time for you.
With some magnetic cables. And here's my video.
I've never owned an Apple MacBook. And one of the things I was always jealous of was that magnetic connector. So the power cable hooked up magnetically, and if you tripped over the power cable, it just disconnected instead of pulling your laptop on the floor. And then I read that Apple is doing away with that because their new laptops will be USB-C and not magnetic. Really? I found, this is really neat, I found magnetic USB cables.
Ooh.
And they are QC 3.0 for fast charging. And this
data.
is how they work. Look, the connecting part is tiny. That's the iPhone connector there, okay? But the USB-C connector, see, I remember we talked about this a few weeks ago, this tiny, tiny laptop. Well, I almost fell over the USB charging cable and pulled this on the floor. And that's when I thought about, would this work, the magnetic USB cables? And it does. So you put the connector in, and you can just leave it in there. Okay, there's a little charging light here. So when I bring this over here, it just hooked on there, the charging light came on. Now, if I pull this off,
the first few times I hold the computer, I'm doing it for the first time.
With it. So if you tripped over this, it would release without pulling the mini laptop on the floor. And there is there's a little LED light in here to tell you that it's powered. I have it plugged into an AC USB plug under here. So what you can do is it comes with 3 of these guys. So if you have 3 different devices, an Apple product, a USB-C product, and this really solves the micro USB problem. This is an old Galaxy. I just leave it in here, okay? And then when it's time to charge that, You just hook that magnet on, and there it comes on. It's charging. So you can, if you have 3 products that use Apple, USB Micro, and USB-C, this thing just goes from place to place and charges them all. It's really neat. It's not gonna, it's even gonna, even though that's in plastic, it's catching it. Pretty inexpensive, okay. $10. Oh, why every time I buy something, why does it go down in price? It's $9, and you get 1 cable, and you get the 3 adapters. The C, the C. You know what? This is a weird. Is this a new Apple connector? Because my connector does not look like that. And micro USB. And as you can see, I just bought another set. You purchased this 2 times. Got pretty good reviews. Let me just take a peek here. I think it's like 4 stars. 3.9 out of 5 from almost 400 people. I like the idea. Magnetic USB cable, and they come in different colors. I don't know if you need it. And they come in different sizes, 3 feet and 6 feet. It was the 6-foot one with the 3 adapters that is now $9, even though I paid $10. Magnetic Personality, Dick DiBartolo. Bye.
That I've seen these before, and that one is actually really nice because the end of the connector is round. I've had some that it's more rectangular, so you still have to kind of maneuver the magnetic part to latch on. So the fact that that's like circular is just like boop. Anyway.
Yeah, no, they're great. They're great.
That.
And I am going to leave the little micro USB in my phone because it doesn't stick out far, especially the ones that use the micro USB. Yeah, they're really neat, and they're very inexpensive.
Most people are asking, does it do data as well?
It says data.
It does.
And
data sync cord. Yeah,
data,
what I would imagine is all those little pins right there, those little copper pins, those are what is connecting over to the to whichever version of the end it is, and then they route that appropriately to all the pins inside of the connector.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, you know, it's funny. The lightning connector does look. It looks like they blocked out. They whitened out the little pins.
Yeah, there's no metal part connector to it. It's just completely plastic. Yeah, that's definitely the light. It's a little bit weird because it doesn't have the...
Maybe they didn't want a lawsuit. They figured, don't make it look like the Apple connector.
Make it look slightly like the Apple connector, but not all the way. Very cool. Yeah, this is nice. So, yeah. I like it. Magnets. How do they work? I don't know.
Magnetic.
With that, it's time to jump into...
Oh, the brand new Chad Crappy Corner.
I have to get the audio ready. Here we go.
You don't need it, but you might want it at Chad's Crappy Corner. Get it.
I have too many gadgets up here. I'm drowning in gadgets. So, we asked the patrons for what December's theme should be. And the options were in between. I may have already spoiled it, but the options were in between. Gadgets to keep you warm, kitchen gadgets, thrift store gadgets, and fitness gadgets.
Forget fitness. They never voted for it.
They never vote for but now I'm actually getting fit. And so I was hoping that it would I actually like work out now. And so I was hoping that people would notice. I don't know. It doesn't matter. So, because this is the only time I'd ever be able to actually review a fitness gadget. The results are in. Gadgets to keep you warm is the winner. They want to be warm this winter. So, gadgets to keep you warm. So that is the theme for December, which I'm very happy about. Very good.
No, it's very good.
I guess let me just jump into the video. This is a itty bitty portable heater.
Oh, you know what? I wondered about those. I'm so glad you're going to talk about it.
Yeah. So let's run in the video, and then I ran it a little bit after the video, so I have a little bit more to input onto it. So here we go. Hey Diggity, so taking a look at another gadget to keep you warm this December, and we are taking a look at the handy heater. Now, from photos, I assumed that this was going to be much smaller than it actually is. I mean, this is pretty substantial. I thought this was going to be pocket-sized. It's definitely not pocket-sized. This is an as seen on TV product. It plugs into the wall, it frees up floor space, and it has an adjustable thermostat. Okay, so let's take a look at the actual device. Here's what it is. It has buttons along the top. We'll take a look at that once we actually plug it in. Along the back, it has a plug, and this plug has a release right here, so I can push that in and rotate the plug 180 degrees. Now, it does not stop here at 90 degrees, which I kind of would assume that it would, but it doesn't do that. So either it's up or down. Those are your two options, and it doesn't go the other way. Then it'll have the heating element right inside of there, and then there's an intake on the bottom. So let's go ahead and plug this in. I feel like this is the best plug for me. Let's plug it in right there. Okay. You kind of have access to the top plug, but not really. Not a whole lot. It looks like there's LEDs on the bottom of that's making it look as if it's super hot, but those are just some LEDs kind of making that color right there. So we can change the speed to LL, really light. I don't know. Lily, I don't know. HH, so obviously it's low and high, but that's about it. And then you can set the temperature. So it's currently around 70 degrees in here, so what if I set it below 70? Will it stop? I heard a click. There you go, I heard it again. I think that it's actually turning it on and off. It also has a timer on the top, and this timer goes from 1 to 12 hours. So you can set this to go on for 12 hours if you want. If you click it again, it'll go back to just operating all the time. You also have a power button on the side. There's a big red power button that you just flip off, and then it turns it off. Turn it back on. And there you go. So far, the amount of heat that's been output from the handy heater, it's okay. It's fairly good. It's obviously not going to fill up the whole room, but if this was underneath a desk, I feel like it would heat that sort of space pretty well. I don't feel like this is enough to really change the temperature inside of a normal size room, but in a small area, I think it would do a good job to heat that up. You can pick up the handy heater for $29.99. Not sure if it's actually worth that. So I actually found it for cheaper. It's available at Walmart. I got this one at Bed Bath & Beyond. So there's always going to be a price increase for that. But there's a Walmart version for $20, which is, I think, better in line for the cost of this. So I ran it for a little bit longer in that room. It's about, I would say, a 10-foot by 7-foot room, something like that. And it did warm up a bit, like a tiny amount. I would definitely think that this is for under a desk. If you have cold feet and you want to like warm up a smaller space, this would work really, really good for that. For actually warming an entire room, it would have to be a very small room, and you would have to heat it up a very small amount. Now, what apparently on the commercial, they mentioned bathrooms. And when I went to read the reviews, the biggest frustration was that the actual box says that you shouldn't use it in a bathroom, and that it doesn't work well with the auto switching off the GFI plugs, the plugs that
ground fault indicated.
That one. So there was some frustration over that this heater doesn't really work well in a bathroom.
Is it loud? It sounds loud on the video, but is that?
It's rather loud. It's not the loudest heater I've ever had. I've had louder heaters, but for its size, it definitely is pretty loud. And so now on that lower mode, the LL mode, that it was like silent, but its heat level was way reduced. And so I wouldn't really suggest that. Would it keep my goldfish bowl warm? Possibly, Captain. Yeah, possibly.
Does the LED go on and off to disco music?
It doesn't. You know what? And I just realized it may be really annoying if this is in a room that you want to keep not dark. That LED does not turn off. I didn't even think about that. That if you run this, at night, that LED would always stay on, and that would be annoying. Other than that, I do want to say that the construction of this feels very solid. All the buttons feel really good. It doesn't feel cheap. It actually feels very, very nice. So just know what you're getting. You're getting a cheap, small heater. And if you have a location that would, maybe if you have a dog house that has a plug inside of it, this would really heat that very well, or a very small room, or under a desk, really. So there you go. That's the handy heater. It does, and that auto timer also is a nice feature of it, that it'll auto shut off as well. So there you go. Handy heater. It's actually not that crappy of a gadget. It's like midway crappy. It's like how much crap you're getting when you kind of see it. Once again, it's available on Walmart if you want to get it for $20. And there you go. With that, let's move into Dick's Gadget Warehouse.
They're geeky and they're goofy, together they are loopy. When gadgets pass away, he takes them out to play in Dick's Gadget Warehouse.
Our email is from Adam J. Calwento, Jakowento. Hi, Dick and Chad. I got this on Amazon for $20. It's a bit steep for silliness, but Christmas is only once a year. As I note in the video, I do not recall covering this particular Santa gadget, but I've not seen every episode. So let's watch. We have not covered this gadget, so let's watch our video from Adam.
Hey, Dick and Chad, this is Adam from San Diego. I'm a proud Patreon supporter of you, and I have watched many of your episodes, but I will admit I have not seen all of them, so I'm not sure if you have covered this particular Santa before, but it's my Christmas gadget for 2019. Got it on sale on Amazon, and I know that you have done the selfie Santa before, which is very hard to find these days now, but this is my new toy. And you have to squeeze his little hand here to get him going.
Twerking!
This Santa needs to be in the background of the selfie Santa.
Yes.
Photobombing. I love how they choreographed
So there you go.
the music.
That's my twerking Santa. It's going to stay on the counter this year for everybody to play with when they come over to visit. All right, have a good one.
Is that like...
That's adorable.
What is he? Is that like a surfboard he's on? I don't know.
Oh no, that was just this. That looked like a drafting stool. That just looked like
a stool. Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That is hilarious. It'd be great at the office, I feel like.
It'd be very funny. It'd be very funny.
It.
And as Adam said, it's so he's $22.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like how the color is wiggle.
And they have blowing saxophone Santa.
Yeah, look at that. I like it. The ratings are astounding. Everybody loves this thing.
Only got 5 people, though.
You get what you pay for. It's expensive, but it's good.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
It's very funny. And you know what? Let's just do 30 seconds of selfie Santa.
Oh, yes. Selfie Santa. Here it is.
Start 30 seconds in should bring him into his dancing. He was a big hit.
Yes, Selfie Santa is awesome. Here we go. I forget how good the lyrics. Those lyrics are really good for a little toy to have actually put
and also
in.
that the camera goes off. It's very clever. Very
clever.
And I think he also was like $20 or $25.
That's adorable.
But I ain't parting with mine. Actually, I have to go to the warehouse soon and get mine.
Yeah.
So, Adam, you'll get a Mad Magazine and an Alfred E. Newman photo. I'm pretty sure you live in the United States. If you live outside the United States, you'll get an Alfred picture. I'll sign it to you and send you a high-res image if you live anywhere else in the world. And we're looking for more videos. I think we have 1 or 2 more, but we always like to have more soon, okay? Any kind of gadget at all, new, old, make a 1 to 3 minute video, put it on YouTube. Are you using their new YouTube format, which is now like 4 pages long? It's so ridiculous. It all used to be on 1 page. Anyway, when you get to the thing about how to display it, you can click unlisted, and then only people with the URL will be able to watch it. So get it. Send us the URL, mail@gizwiz.tv. Anything about a gadget.
Anything about a gadget. With that, let's move on to the letter.
Become the letters, your lovely letters. Become the Giz Wiz letters
now.
Princess Willie says, Dick and Chad, I saw the shoe covers that you featured on the last episode. Well, actually, it was a few episodes ago. Used by my plumber.
Ooh.
I asked him about them, and he said they're perfect to slip on before they enter a customer's house, both to protect their shoes from gross sewerage spills and to protect your house from whatever they were doing on the last job. Apparently, they keep a box of them in their truck and wash them every day. And this is what we're talking about, Chad.
Yeah, these are my Alibaba
What was
gadgets.
your theme?
Alibaba gadgets.
Oh, that's right. Gadgets from Alibaba.
Yeah.
So they are stretchable, reusable.
Yeah.
I think it's really a great idea. I do have to get a couple of pair because you can roll up. If you think it's going to rain and you're wearing sneakers or something, you can just roll them up and put them in your pocket.
Yeah.
And then if it starts raining, you stretched them.
I was really surprised by these because I thought they were going to be like a harder plastic, super soft. You could put them around your shoe pretty easily. They really did protect, I mean, as you would expect, they completely protected your shoe. And I thought they would look goofy. And they actually didn't look that bad. So I was actually really surprised. And I could totally see, especially if you're a plumber, needing these. When I worked in audiovisual equipment, a lot of times we'd put a bootie on, but it was a cloth. It was very thin. It's basically just to stop, like, if we had dry dirt from getting off of our shoe onto carpet or anything like that. But if anything was wet, it would have bled right through. So yeah, that's very, very cool. I like.
I have those pictures of you at a wedding wearing them. I thought that was. I said, God,
it was such a nice wedding. I didn't want
to. Chad really loves those things.
Yeah, I didn't want to get the carpet dirty, so I just had to wear them.
You didn't even want to get rice on your shoes.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I was going to say they can't have any gluten on them, but I guess rice doesn't have gluten, does it? I don't think it does. You know what? You know who's smarter than us? Our patrons. They probably know if rice has gluten in it or not. Thank you, patrons, so much for supporting our show over at patreon.com/GizWiz. You guys support the show every single week. Thank you so much. Supporting the same Dunb show. You guys are incredible. If you enjoy the show, please consider giving back over at patreon.com/GizWiz. And that's a reoccurring thing. So every time we upload a video, episode, then you guys support. And we're just asking for a little bit, tiny amount, not asking for a lot. So if you like the show, please consider giving back there. If you don't want to give via Patreon, you can give via PayPal. Click on the Patreon tab, and there is a PayPal link right there on that page over at gizwiz.tv. Speaking of gizwiz.tv, that's where you can watch the show live. We're live just about every Thursday, 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern Time. That's us right there. You can join the chat room and talk along with us, or you can subscribe to the show via RSS, iTunes, or YouTube. Or if you just want to watch on our website, you can do that too. All of our previous episodes are right there. So don't forget to head on over to gizwiz.biz. We got .tv and we got .biz. .biz is run by Dickie D, and he writes up fantastic articles about all of the gadgets that we cover, but you can play a game there. What the heck is it? The game show, online, and this is the gadget, the whole gadget, nothing but the gadget. You got to guess what this thing is. And this is obvious to me that this is a aerogel coffee table. And so there's actually a big piece of aerogel right there on the top. You can't see it because it's so light and fluffy. It looks invisible, but that's actually a coffee table, if you knew. If you think you know what this is, get a guessing over at gizwiz.biz. There are 6 Mad magazines for correct answers, 12 Mad magazines for incorrect answers. How does that work? It's because we want you to be funny, clever, hilarious, or interesting with your answers. So get a guessing over at gizwiz.biz. I think that wraps up for our show. So we'll see you next week.
I'll be here.